Try something new. I'm looking at. Let's go and get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to your girl's channel. It's your girl mishaikia. If you're new here, go and take a second to subscribe to the channel. I'll give you a second. Hold on. Did you subscribe? Okay, cool. So as y'all can see from the title of this video, we're going to be doing a mommy reset routine video, kind of like to prevent you from getting mom burnout and things like that. I have my little notebook here, so I may be looking down, but it's just to make sure that I cover all my points to get everything across to you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is a phone detox. And what I mean by phone detox is I really wasn't talking to anyone for pretty much the whole month of July. End of June, going into July, I just pretty much wasn't talking to anyone. And that's okay. If it was a family emergency or, you know, my brothers or somebody, my grandmother, anybody, I was talking to them for sure. But my friends and people who I feel like just add a little bit extra chaos in my life, I wasn't talking to. Anybody else who I find myself being like, and maybe some of you guys can relate, I find myself being that person that everybody can dump things on, and it's not a problem. I love my friends, I love my family, and I'm always open to give everybody advice, but sometimes it can be a lot because what happens is I end up taking on their problem, this person problems, this person problems, this person problem, and then my own problems. And then by the end of the day, I feel so drained because I poured into so many people's cups, and at the end of the day, I found my cup to be very empty because nobody's poured into mine. So I took that time to just disconnect from everyone who did not necessarily need me for anything, and just kind of stay to myself. I deleted Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, every form of social media off of my phone. I don't do Twitter already. I feel like Twitter, sometimes Instagram could be the same way, but I feel like TikTok, I feel like TikTok, I don't do TikTok. I don't really do Twitter, but I feel like TikTok can be so time consuming in itself because you get to swipe in and swipe and swipe. So I let go of TikTok a long time ago. I may bring it back, but at the time I was like, hours would go by. And that's the thing, hours can go by just being on Instagram, Facebook, all these social medias, because you're looking at what everybody else is doing. So it's easy to kind of get caught up in, oh, look at this vacation spot, oh, look at these nails, oh, look at this hairstyle, oh, look at this workout routine, which is great. It's all good information, but it can be a sensory overload for sometimes. So that's what I did. But that was one of my number one things that I did, is just kind of just completely give myself phone free time. And also with that, I set my phone to the side. Yeah, put it on the charger, just let it sit there, didn't touch it, doing other stuff around my house, which is going to lead us into number 2, which is decluttering space. Now, as a mom, I feel like it can be overwhelming sometimes to have your space in order. Your room and your dedicated area in your home for yourself can be completely organized, but then the moment you go out into, you know, living room or your kitchen, or you gander into the kids' rooms, it's like, oh my goodness, what is going on in here? So throughout this time, I had my kids, I helped my kids declutter their spaces. So that way, when I'm walking through the house, the same vibe I have in my bedroom of just kind of cleanliness, freshness, it follows suit through the house. So I had them declutter their bedrooms. School is coming up, going through those old school clothes, getting rid of those, getting rid of summer clothes, taking them to be donated, clearing out their space. Because if they're not as cluttered, you don't know if that's affecting them too. I have so much stuff. You don't know what that's doing to your children. So just take a second, declutter their spaces, toys that they may not have played with. My daughter had 2 toy boxes in her room, overflowing with toys. Her birthday was just in May. She got more stuff. So going through those, what do you play with? What don't you play with? Let's get these cycled out so we can donate them to a kid who can play with them, because you're not, right? So doing that was a big step. Also, I took the time to, you know, shampoo their carpets, try to make it fresher. You know, we've lived here for a couple of years. Shampooing the carpets, when I tell you, it made such a drastic difference in just how crisp and clean their room looks like when I walk by. Just seeing that fresh carpet, it did something to me. and maybe I'm just a clean person or whatever, but that just really does something to me to walk by and just see their rooms clean. So in addition to seeing their rooms nice and crisp and clean and them floors sparkling just with the fresh carpet in their rooms, I also added some wallflowers. Now my idea was to go to Bath and Body Works, but ironically I was in Walmart and I saw that Walmart has some for like a fraction of the price, and they have my favorite scent. I love Walmart's orange buttercream. It smells like Fruity Pebbles, not Lucky Charms, Fruit Loops, like the fruity cereal. I feel like that's a great scent for a children's room. I love it throughout the house, honestly, but I love when I walk past their rooms, it's like that crisp, fresh, fruity smell like coming off of their rooms, and that just does something to me. Which is going to lead number 3, or our third thing is going to be taking a walk. I love to take a walk by myself or with my dog. First thing in the morning, I get up, brush my teeth, wash my face, and grab him, his leash, and take a nice little walk. Just that quiet time by myself, walking, does something to me. I either like to do that in the morning or in the evening time. If I'm feeling kind of overstimulated, I'll just excuse myself for a moment. My oldest is 15. He can keep an eye on them for about 10-15 minutes. Time for me to walk the block and just kind of decompress for that moment. But I feel like that little time right there alleviates that boundary from, alleviates that time from just like sit down or come on y'all, let's sit down. Like I don't want to scream out at my kids. I don't want to traumatize them. So me removing myself for 10 minutes and taking that walk is great. And in addition to that, something small, but I've been doing this here and there, is my kids, if your children are old enough, my youngest is 7, he's 6, he'll be 7 in October. Like yesterday, I was feeling kind of overstimulated in the moment, and with your kids, they don't know that you're overstimulated. They just know it's mommy and they want to play with mommy and they want to talk to mommy, and sometimes I just need 5 minutes. So yesterday I came in my room and I sat down and I was just sitting at the foot of my bed and I was just like, trying to get a second, right? My son comes in. I'm like, Kel, give me 5 minutes. He said, 5 minutes? I said, yeah, give me 5 minutes, baby. He said, okay. He closed my door and he left me alone for 5 minutes. I don't know if he had a clock, but I know about 5 minutes later, he came back. He's like, Mom, is 5 minutes up? I said, yes, it is. He asked me his question. But just that 5 minutes I needed just so I could have it. Ask them for that. If you're feeling so overwhelming, your kids are and they're coming at you from every which way, let them know, hey, Mama needs a minute. Give me a minute. Give me 5 minutes. Okay, I promise I'll be right back. Just give me 5 minutes. Don't hide in the bathroom. Because personally, if I wanted to, I don't want to sit in my bathroom. I want to just sit somewhere quiet for a second. So, hey, baby, give me 5 minutes. And my kids, personally, they want to see fun mommy. They don't want to see fussing mommy. So if 5 minutes keeps them from getting fussy mommy, then now with that being said, going into my next tip is dedicate 30 minutes of your day whenever you feel like you need it to just some you time. If that is, at the end of the night, you're taking your shower, you're in your bed, in your bedroom, in your bathroom, you're taking a shower, 30 minutes to take your shower, do your skincare, maybe lay in the bed and read a book. Just quiet time to where you're doing something just for nobody else and it's strictly for you. Is a great way to decompress. Oh, I almost said decompose. It's a great way to decompress from being overstimulated. Just having that 30-minute time. In addition to that, you can always wake up a little bit earlier than what you normally do. If you know that your house is quiet at a certain time of day, like the first thing in the morning, my kids, especially during the summer, they sleep in. So my husband gets up like 8. So if I get up at like 7:30, all right, get up, make me some coffee or some tea, and I'm walking around. 9 times out of 10, what I'm doing is I have my tea and I'm walking around my house and I'm just looking, and it's quiet. And my kids are asleep and they look so angelic and they just look like I want to go over there and hug them and kiss them, but I'm not, because I don't want to wake them up. But just that time to just appreciate my family and just a quiet moment. I see my husband in bed, I see my kids in bed, and it's just a time to reflect on, look at my beautiful family. And I need that some mornings. I definitely need that. Just taking time to appreciate my family. Without actually interacting with them. But just that time, that quiet time, and just being able to look at them in such a peaceful state is great for feeling overstimulated. It kind of gets me ready for the daylight, because I've seen them in such a quiet headspace, because they're sleeping, they're resting, they look cute. So by the time they wake up, I'm like, let's do something. Which is going to lead me into my next tip for overstimulated mommies. Plan something out for you and your children to do together. It doesn't have to be anything that's going to cost a lot of money. I take my kids to the park all the time. I'll take them to the park. They'll run around. We'll play together. We'll swing on the swings. I'll push them on the swings, and we'll interact. We also bake together. I love baking with them. Cooking anything. If I'm making cornbread, let them crack the eggs. Just things that they can do with me, so they feel included in what you have going on. We've made slime, we draw pictures, we play bingo. We have all these things that we can do together, just to give them dedicated time. Like, mommy is showing me attention and time and love, because a lot of times that's all your kids want. If your kids are mommy, they want some attention. They want attention. But if you give them that time, let's bake some cookies together, or let's play a game together. They're not calling out mommy. And then when you're done, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be ready to go on to do something else, and it's not necessarily going to involve you, because you've given them time and attention that they've been craving for that moment. The next thing on my list is self-care. I am a big advocate for self-care, and self-care can be whatever it means to you. For me, it is getting my nails done, getting my feet done, getting my hair done, just feeling beautiful about myself, whether it's going to the gym, and getting a good workout in. Just self-care, something I'm doing for me, doing a face mask at the end of the night. That's self-care. All that is self-care. All that is just something you're doing for you, doing something for mommy. I love to do a face mask with my daughter. Sometimes I like to take her to the nail salon with me also. So that's also just a mommy-daughter time too. So if it's just something I want to do by myself, I want to include my little girl in that with me, we're definitely going to go together. Go get our nails done, go get our feet done. She loves it. I love it. It's also implementing self-care and teaching her about self-care as well. So self-care is a big one on my list, because I can't tell y'all how overstimulated, how just I feel if my hair is a mess, if my toenails are chipped. And I know that it is so small, but it does something to me to look down and my feet look pretty and my hands look pretty, or I look pretty. It just makes me feel better about myself. Like, I feel like I'm my best version of myself, and I can take on anything. Something about self-care just gives me that extra boost of confidence to get me through my day. If I have my hair done, if I'm looking 100% myself, then I know that I can take on the world. But if I am out here with my hair all over my head and I'm looking kind of dry, the skin's not moisturized, I'm looking just defeated. So definitely take a moment for self-care. And then the last thing on my list, which if you are a spiritual person or if you're a religious person, if you're not, cool, that's your thing, that's my thing. But I have found myself going back to church. I feel like since COVID and a little bit before COVID, I feel like church has not really been a place that I have been striving to go. I've still been praying and talking to God, but I have not been going to church and going to service and going to fellowship or anything like that. And I feel like since I've been going, that is something I was missing. Just that little bit of just being in a like space where everybody is, it's nothing else going on but just the worship. And something about that does something, like it does something to my mental. Like, everybody is here to enjoy the service. Everyone is here, even if they're not. To me, looking around, everybody's enjoying the service. Everybody's listening to the word. Everybody's listening to the music. Everybody is in this space, and we're hugging and we're smiling and we're encouraging other people and we're uplifting, and we're doing all this in God's house. And you can praise and worship anywhere, but something about being in the church takes me back to like childhood, I guess, and just takes me back to a place where I'm like, this is what has been missing from my life. Like, I don't think I realized how much I actually miss going to church and being at church. And then if you find a church, because my biggest thing, Lord forgive me, but I don't want to be at church all day. I do not want to be at church. And if anyone is looking for a church, I'll link my church down below. And I'm not, y'all, I don't work for the church. I just started going to this church. I've been like the last 4 Sundays and I'm enjoying it. But they have a statement that they make throughout service. It's like 90 minutes or less. And literally, hour and a half, we out of church. And I feel like that's a good amount of time. I don't have to be in church all day to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I feel like as a child and growing up, that's what I kind of got used to. So as I got older, I was like, oh, I am not trying to be in this church all day. I really don't want to be anywhere all day. The only place that I have been that I did not want to be all day was work. And that's just, I didn't want to be there. So if it's somewhere I can be, like even when I go out, like to like a club or something like that, I ain't trying to be there for 2-3 hours. You got a good hour and a half out of me. I got the vibe. I had me a drink, and I'm going about my business. So yeah, but definitely even if you're not spiritual, even if you're not a Christian or whatever the case may be, finding something that gives you peace, so finding something that gives you guidance for the week for you and your family is what I'm recommending. If it's not church, if you find that somewhere else, then hey, do that. But something where it gives you a good guidance and a good flow for your week. And I feel like that's what church does for me. It sets me up for a good week. It sets me up. I get my prayer done. It gives me a moment to talk to God and fellowship with other people and just be around like-minded people. And it's a good vibe. Going to church is just one of the things I recommend for your reset routine for overstimulated mommies. If that's something that you find, taking your kids too. A lot of churches have like children's program, youth programs, all these things that I feel like we did as kids that our children don't necessarily do, that I feel like we need to bring back. You know, as long as it's supervised with trusting adults, hey, let them do it. Again, the key word in that is trusting. Don't go nowhere and say, Misha said, dude, no, I didn't. Find out who your kids are going to be with so that it is a relaxing moment for you. You're not stressed about that, because I know how crazy that can be, and I'm not going to go into that in this video. But yeah, as long as it's trusting adults, and your kids are old enough to, you know, express or elaborate anything that's going on, hey, I say go for it. So just finding something to kind of add an addition to your life. And I feel like that's what church is doing for me. It is adding more things and more things I can get myself involved in, as well as getting my kids involved. Okay, y'all, so that's going to pretty much wrap up this video on the reset routine for overstimulated mommies. If you guys have any questions or any other tips or anything that you do that you find helps you, you know, not feel overstimulated, go ahead and drop it down low in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. Again, if you're not a mom and you find like these tips help you out as well, hey, drop a comment down below. If you guys want more content like this from me, definitely let me know. Drop a comment. I keep on saying comment, so y'all know what I want y'all to do, right? Comment. And go ahead and subscribe. If you have not subscribed and you made it to this point in the video, go ahead and take a second and subscribe to the channel. I definitely would appreciate the love for the channel and everything like that. But all right, y'all, I think that's it. Love y'all. Bye.